Hello students, this is the first day of our lecture and we are studying Science A section. In that fourth lesson we are going to study, that is nothing but measurement of matter. You know there are various types of matters. They are nothing but solid, liquid and gases. All these matters are made up of small particles, or you can say atoms. Now on this only we are going to see the various laws, then how to calculate the molecular formula. Various laws are there which are explaining the substances. All these things we are going to study in this lesson. The first question is, whenever we have studied the atom, we know that atom has a structure. In the middle it has nucleus which has the protons and nucleons, and round it the electrons are revolving. We know that atom is a neutral. That also we know. Various scientists put forth the theory of the atomic structure. From that were the Dalton, there was Canard, there was Chadwick, there was Rutherford, Thomson, various scientists were there. Now here we are going to study the Dalton's theory. What it tells you actually. What is Dalton's atomic theory? Dalton put out his atomic theory, or he put his atomic structure. He gave his one of the atomic structure. And what this atomic structure tells us, that we are going to study. Dalton's atomic theory gave us a fundamental idea. That means what? It gave us the actual idea of the atom. About the composition of the matter, means here in a matter how the atoms are arranged, what is the arrangement, how the substances get their structure. All this fundamental idea was given by Dalton. According to this theory, matter is made up of a very tiny. That means according to his theory, he told us that matter is made up of very tiny. Tiny means very small. Indestructible means which cannot be destructed. Indivisible means which cannot be divided. Particles are present in a matter and these are called as the atoms. How are the compounds formed? Now we know that when two atoms come together, there is a formation of a molecule, and when molecules come together, there is a formation of a compound. We know that. Now, how are the compounds formed here? So, compounds are formed when atoms of the elements combine. So, whenever the atoms of the elements combine together, there is a formation of a compound. In your book, there is one question asked about the molecular formula. Here I have written the various molecular formulas of the substance. Please follow that. That is nothing but salt. Salt is written as NaCl, where Na represents sodium and Cl represents chlorine. Slacked lime is given by formula CaOH twice. That is, Ca stands for calcium, O for oxygen, H for hydrogen. Then water. Water's formula is given by H2O, where H stands for hydrogen, O stands for oxygen. Lime. The formula is given as CaO, where Ca stands for calcium, O stands for oxygen. Limestone. The formula is given as CaCO3. Ca stands for calcium, C stands for carbon, and O stands for oxygen. The first law we are going to study, that is nothing but law of a chemical composition. The composition of a substance, you know that various substances are formed of a various composition. That means substances are made up of various components. Now these components or this composition changes during the chemical change. Whenever there is a chemical change in a particular substance, their total structure is also going to change. The fundamental experiments in this regards were performed by the scientists. Now To verify this, various scientists did many experiments, and that experiments were done in 18th or you can say in 19th century. While doing this, what they did? While doing these experiments, they measured accurately. Now, whenever they want to form a particular substance, and the substance or the constituents whichever they took for constructing or for making this substance, they weighed it accurately. That means they took or they measured these substances accurately. Now these substances which were formed by the various accuration, and various measurements were taken by the scientists. The scientists like Dalton, you know the scientists like Dalton, or you can say Thomson or Rutherford, they all studied the structure of the atom, or you can say the structure of the substances, and the atom was discovered by the law of combination. Whenever you see that this law tells that something is combined, or you can say to make a particular substance, some constituents are combined, and by combining the constituents then only we can form a particular substance. This was told by scientists Dalton, Thomson, Rutherford, who studied the structure of the substances. Scientists could write the molecular formula whenever they know what is actually forming that substance, or what are the constituents which are present in that substance. This made them very easy to write the molecular formula of a particular substance. Various compounds were also written by them, or various formulas, molecular formulas of the compounds were also written on the Dalton's atomic theory, because he explained each and every point in his theory, and the law of chemical combination was also explained in his theory. Here we shall verify the law by means of a molecular formula. That means here we are going to do two activities by which we can verify the law of chemical composition. Now we are going to see the activity of laws of chemical composition, combination. See here, you have to take 56 gram of calcium oxide in a large conical flask. You want to take 56 gram of calcium oxide. The formula of calcium oxide is CaO. That you have to take in a large conical flask. Conical flask is present in a laboratory room. You want to take that 56 grams in the conical flask and put 18 grams water in it, and you want to add water to it. How much water you have to add? That is nothing but 18 grams water you have to add for it. Now, these are the following things that you have to observe. Observe what happens after mixing 56 gram of calcium oxide and 18 grams of water. Measure the mass of the substance formed. What you have to do? Whatever the mass is formed after the combination of calcium oxide and water, you want to measure the mass of that substance. What similarity do you find? Before that or after that, what similarity you find? And you want to write the inference of that. Calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water. Whenever you are mixing calcium oxide with the water, it reacts very vigorously with the water, and it produces a particular sound. That sound is called as a hissing sound. It is produced into the conical flask, and this flask becomes hot, or whenever we touch this conical flask, it appears to be somewhat hot. The mass of the substance formed is nothing but 74 grams. If we measure that, then the mass that is formed will be about 74 grams. The total mass of the substance before the reaction will be equal to the mass of the substance formed after chemical reaction. That means at first, whenever we have mixed the calcium oxide and water, the first weight is exactly equal to the weight of the mixing of calcium oxide and water. So, what will be the inference here? Matter is neither gained. That means we cannot gain the matter, or nor we can lost during the chemical reaction. That means whatever the substances we have mixed, the same substances react or they undergo chemical reaction, and the product which is formed is exactly equal to the product which is mixed before. This is the activity number 2, or you can say activity number 2. What you have to do in this activity, see here. Take a solution of calcium chloride. Here you want to take a solution of calcium chloride. The molecular formula of calcium chloride is CaCl2. Ca stands for calcium, Cl stands for Cl2 stands for chloride. You have to take it in a conical flask, and a solution you have to take of sodium sulfate, that is Na2SO4, where Na stands for sodium and SO4 stands for sulfate. This all you have to take, sodium sulfate you have to take it in a test tube. Now what you have to do, see here, you have to take one thread, tie this thread to a test tube. You want to tie this thread to a test tube, and you have to insert this test tube into a conical flask. The conical flask contains calcium chloride. It contains the solution of calcium chloride, and the test tube contains solution of sodium sulfate. This test tube you want to insert into the conical flask. Now what you have to do, you have to seal the conical flask. Seal means what you have to do, you have to close the conical flask with an airtight rubber cork. What you want to do, you want to close it with an airtight rubber cork. Now weigh the conical flask by using the balance. There is a balance by which you can weigh this conical flask. Now what you have to do, the test tube which contains the sodium sulfate, what you want to do, you want to tilt this. Tilt means little you want to tilt or little you want to shake, like, and you want to put it into the conical flask, so that the solution in the test tube gets poured in a conical flask. After tilting, what happens? The solution whichever is present in a test tube. Now here in test tube the solution is present of sodium sulfate, and this is poured in a conical flask. Conical flask contains calcium chloride. That means a test tube contains sodium sulfate and conical flask contains calcium chloride. Both are mixed there. Now you want to weigh the conical flask again. What you will find? That whichever the substance is formed after the combination of the sodium sulfate and calcium chloride, the substance which is formed is exactly equal to the sum of the substances whichever we have taken before. That means whichever we have taken the before, that is nothing but calcium chloride and sodium sulfate. The sum of the calcium chloride and sodium sulfate is similar to the substance which is formed after the reaction. In today's lecture, we have seen the two activities. We showed the law of a combination. Various scientists have worked on this, and they showed by these two activities the law of the combination. That means whichever substance we are weighing and taking at first, and after that we are making them to react with each other. Now the product which is formed is exactly equal to the reactants which are reacting with each other. Thank you.